What up, it's your boy DJ Chuckie here in Miami for the Miami Music Week, and you're watching Toasted.
Wrapping it up in Miami with DJ Chuckie. Welcome, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a long week. Thanks for wrapping it up today. Yes,
You still have voice, which is a miracle, right?
almost have no voice. I mean, this whole week, it's like every year you just come here and you meet all your industry friends, you meet all your colleagues, and basically party a whole week. That's what it is.
Well, you party the whole week. I mean, there's a lot of...
But you know what? It's hard for me to keep up with a lot of people because I don't do drugs. I drink, but I don't do drugs, so it's really hard to stay up that long. So after this, thank God I'm going home back to Aruba, and I'm gonna rest up for the whole week.
You've been here in Miami probably. I think maybe you were actually one of the first Dutch DJs to really have a residency here. You have a long history with Miami, right?
Yeah, I have a very long history with Miami. Actually, Miami was the place where I actually got discovered internationally. My track "I'm in Miami, Bitch," was like, let's say, the theme song for that Winter Music Conference. Back then it was called Winter Music Conference, and from there it kind of went really fast. And it's funny how time flies. I mean, 10 years later we're here, and you see all these people, and the industry has changed a lot as well. Yeah.
I talked to a lot of Dutch people here, and I mean, back in the days when you started off here in Miami, it would have been unimaginable that the Dutch would actually rule the dance scene, but they very much do right now.
Well, in general, I think it's really hard to think about having an international career when you're like focused in your own country. Like, I think Holland is one of the few places in the world where a DJ could do like 300 gigs a year, and you don't even need to go international to make some money, for example. So we were like super comfortable in Holland, and I personally never thought about having an international career. I could not even dream about it because also the Dutch sound, especially back then, we had a very particular sound, very specific, and I could never say like this sound will go international and will take over the world, But yeah, Holland is definitely a good spot for a lot of talent. So.
Is this, you think, the golden era of Dutch dance, and is it about to end, and if so, what will follow?
Well, there's no such thing as a golden era for Dutch dance music, because Dutch dance music, it embraces so much more. Eventually, one of the biggest or some of the biggest names in trance music, for example, they all come from Holland. Even like tech house producers, techno producers. Like Holland is such a strong country for bringing new talent and also new sounds like hardstyle. I think Holland still leads, that sound. So yeah, I don't think it's difficult for Dutch DJs to adapt anywhere.
I talked to a lot of people here, and actually more than one said, of all the DJs I know, DJ Chuckie is by far one of the most technologically advanced, like technical, his skills are amazing. And the three names I hear, which were Layback Luke, Dave Clark, and DJ Chuckie. Those are the most advanced skilled DJs that a lot of people knew. I went to see your social media, and one guy posted actually the same.
Well, to me, my background, I spend a lot of time in my bedroom as a bedroom DJ, and I just wanted to, and I was listening to all these mixtapes, and I had, I was listening to, for example, drum and bass DJs. DJ Hype was one of my examples. Like, he used to scratch on drum and bass, and I used to scratch along with his routines. So I really have that background of practicing a lot, spending a lot of time behind the deck. So playing hip-hop music, that gave me an advantage when I started playing other genres, because I still bring that kind of hip-hop mind state to my sets, whether I play tech house or electro or whatever style in dance music, So yeah, I practice a lot, and it gave me that big advantage.
Hey, you did Fuck Cancer. Could you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, yeah, a couple of years ago, when I started playing in Miami, actually, Dave Grudman, he introduced me to Chris Pacello, his best friend or one of his best friends. And Chris Pacello runs another nightclub called Rockwell. And I used to do charity events all the time, but not on an international scale, So when I was talking to Chris, I think we were at the gym, his gym or something, and we were talking about, I'm always talking about how we're gonna change the world and do stuff, or do something for others. Because we're here, we're partying our asses off, but there are less fortunate people. So he's like, yeah, I'm putting this thing together. It's for charity. You wanna play at my club? I'm like, of course I wanna play at your club. If it's for charity, let's go. So I did, and I'm really happy I did it. And it also gave me an opportunity to play a different style of music, which people don't really know me for now. I do a straight up hip hop set at Rockwell, and it works. Yeah, it works so well. Like last night, I play hip hop, straight up hip hop.
I mean, is it the old school hip hop, new hip hop?
All new stuff, and of course, every now and then some throwbacks. But I like to stay in touch with my hip hop roots, and if I get a chance to combine a charity event with playing some hip hop in Miami, it's a win-win-win situation. Yeah.
Hey, like you noticed, we went through your social media. I love it. There's a lot of funny stuff on there.
Yeah.
Actually, I witnessed one picture that you took. We were in I think it was the One Hotel doing an interview, and there was this guy who was like so fast asleep in the lobby. And I noticed you were sitting next to him taking a picture while he was still sleeping.
Well, that's how it goes in Miami. Like it's the tempo. If you've never been to the Miami Music Week, it's hard to grasp, hard to understand how crazy it is, what the tempo is like, because we party, we drink, we go everywhere, we hardly sleep. So unfortunately, I found this guy sitting in a hotel lobby, middle of the day, just passed out, and I'm like, I have to grab this moment, because that's what it basically is. It's really hard. I mean, I left Diddy's house, I left Puff Daddy's house this morning. I came home at 10, and I woke up at noon, because Child's Play had to play, and I wanted to join their set. It's the first time in Miami, so it's really exciting for them, and I wanted to be there.
You met a lot of extremely famous people here that other people probably wouldn't even notice that they're here. Nervo, you were partying with them, which of course they played here. I saw you with DJ Flash. I saw you with.
Yeah, I think my highlight of this trip was definitely taking a picture with Flash. I mean, I've known him for many years now, but yesterday was the first time that I took a picture with him, and for me, it was really important for me to see him on my party. He was right there at the party, and it's crazy because he's one of the hip hop pioneers, and for him to see me play hip hop, it's a big deal for me. I'm sorry.
I mean, of course, a big deal. What did he say? Did he like it?
No, he was there hanging out all night. He was like, "Yo, you're murdering it," and I was trying to show off. It's a hip hop legend, so you have to show off. But it's like, I do this hip hop stuff, but I grew up with a lot of different kinds of music. Like I used to make techno and tech house all the time, and house. Let me call it house music. I used to make that all the time, and for me, it's cool to touch base every now and then with whatever I love.
One of the guys who went to see your show just tweeted this: "I just witnessed DJ Chuckie destroy a club. I walked away alive and willing to tell the story."
Well, yeah, I think he was talking about last night. The energy was great, man. It was so. I think if you hear the whole week and you're listening to nothing but house music, a hip hop set can be like refreshing. I'm glad the guy had fun, but yeah, that's what it is, man. It's what it is.
We did an interview with Kevin Saunderson, and he said, back in the days, it was quite normal to listen to hip hop and produce dance.
Exactly that, and that's actually, you said it right. That's actually how I grew up. One of my biggest examples making me feel comfortable going from playing hip hop and playing house at the same time and producing them both is definitely Kenny Dope. Kenny Dope and Kenny Dope and Armand Van Helden were my biggest examples when it comes to this, playing hip hop and playing house music at the same time. And I think it's possible. I think we should think less in boxes. That's what it is.
I guess you played almost every nook and cranny of this world. I mean, there's probably not a corner there you didn't play here in this city. Yeah. I found out that you actually had a debut at the Access Las Vegas club.
Well, yeah, I was also one of the first DJs from Holland having a residency in Las Vegas, and 6 years later, I signed a new contract at Access, the Win Group. Really amazing club, I think they were rated the #1 club in the world, which is really good. For me, I'm just happy to be there. I mean, all the traveling, and I feel blessed. And then when you sign a contract with one of the biggest clubs in the world, you know, I'm proud. I'm proud. Sometimes you have like this little proud moment. You're like, you know what? Yeah, you did it, motherfucker. You did it, and that's how I feel. You know. Yeah.
You did it, motherfucker. But you know, in Holland alone, there's like 30,000 people who are aspiring DJs, and they would like to pull it off. What's your advice to them?
My advice to new DJs and producers: just be yourself. You know, try to find your sound, and you know, try to create your own identity. I mean, it's easy to become or try to be the new Martin Garrix or the new Nicky Romero, but I think the most important thing is to find your identity and, you know, develop it. You know, develop that sound even more and more and more. So that's the main thing. And also, if you really wanna deliver behind the decks, just practice a lot. You have to practice a lot. It's important.
Hey, this is another one I got. Somebody told me, like, yeah, nobody knows this, but Chuckie just released a record or a track on Loco Dice's Desolate label. Is that true?
Yes, actually, it's my third release on his label. Like I said, you know, I grew up with that music. I grew up with that music. A matter of fact, you know, back in the days, I was really in love with more like the Chicago house and stuff. So yeah, I always make that music. I never really released it, but I do that. I do those contracts, obviously, and I sent them to Loco Dice because he's my good friend. I know him from the hip hop days when he was a hip hop DJ, and I'm like, yo, dude, you know, I made this record inspired by your party last night because I went to his party, and you know, when I came home, I'm like, fuck, I have to make a track. You know, I was so inspired. It was inside me. It had to get out, you know. So I told him, like, yo, I made this record. I'm gonna send it to you. I don't even know if it's cool or I don't even know what genre it is, but here it is, you know. And he's like, yo, Chuckie, it's actually dope, you know. Can I release it on my label? I'm like, yeah, man, of course, man, you can have it. But I don't wanna damage your image, you know, as a label. You wanna put it under another name? He's like, no, fucking hell. You're Chuckie. It's your record. We release it as Chuckie on Desolate, you know. And he said it as well. We should stop thinking less in boxes.
Instead, your son is a vlogger. He has his own vlog, I read. So if people want to follow him, where should they go?
Well, you know, Joshua Vlogs, of course. The thing is, back in the days, it's funny with these kids, you know. I wanted to become a DJ, and a lot of people wanted to become a fireman or police. And the kids nowadays, they just want to become a vlogger, which is crazy.
So he is one now.
Yeah, he's one. So bless my son, he's a vlogger now. I like it. I like watching his stories. You know, when you travel a lot, you don't see your kids that often anymore. You know, it's fun to see them doing their thing. So yeah.
Hey, we're here in Miami, wrapping it up. What holds in the near future for you?
What's also in the future? Just more and more fun parties. Like I said, you know, I really like the diversity of my gigs, and I'm gonna continue doing that. If I feel like making a techno record today and a hip hop tomorrow, that's what I'm gonna do. And I like to have my gigs like that as well. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna be more widespread as far as music. For the next couple of years, gonna try to do residencies like that. You know, maybe have like a techno residency in Holland or a tech house residency in Holland. Have a hip hop residency in Miami, and you know, and so on. So that's what I'm doing. As far as music, there's a lot of music coming. Yeah.
New releases?
A lot of new releases. You know, I just did the Desolate record, but I have so many records. For example, with Child's Play and Dutch producers. It's very exciting for me because I also like that kind of music. You know.
Very cool. Hey, last thing. Another thing that we really heard a lot of people talk about is Asia. It's blowing up. China's opening up. Do you have any plans there?
Well, yeah, I actually have a tour planned in China. You know, thank God for the internet that, you know, people really get the chance to hear our records. So yeah, because China is such a big market, and we hardly, you know, it's hard to promote yourself in China because first of all, they don't really understand the language. Thank God everybody understands the language of music. Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for your time, man.
Thank you very much.